Okay, so we are going to draw a couple boxes for the in-class assignment, and then after that, one of your virtual assignments will be making these boxes into 2 jack-in-the-boxes after you brainstorm. So our first box is going to be 2-point perspective, and with that 2-point perspective, you need 2 vanishing points. And do you notice how I have my sketchbook opened up to 2 pages? When we are drawing sketchbook, or when we're drawing our boxes, most of the time artists don't always have their vanishing points on their picture plane. Usually they will tape another sheet of paper onto it and expand to have their vanishing points off the paper. And so we are going to be drawing on the right side, and on the right side for our 2-point perspective, our very first vanishing point will be way over here on the left of the spiral, and we're going to label this VP1, okay? So make that point. Then after that, we will make our vanishing point way over here, our second one, and we will call it vanishing point 2, okay? So we have vanishing point 1 on the left side after you open up your sketchbook, on the left side way over here, vanishing point number 2 on the right side. Remember, with 2-point perspective, we start off with the corner first. So here's like the halfway mark. So a little bit to the left, I will draw a 3-inch line. And then this is our corner of our first jack-in-the-box. So now with that corner, this gets a little bit tricky. You have the seesaw action with your 18-inch ruler. If you don't have an 18-inch ruler, try to find something that's straight that can go across that spiral, and you will draw an inch or 2 to the vanishing point. Then over here, if I can see it, you guys, draw an inch or 2 to the vanishing point. So this one goes to vanishing point 1, vanishing point 1. Now the other side will be easier. We don't have the spiral to contend with. You will take the bottom corner to your vanishing point and you'll draw it for a couple inches. Then you will go to the top corner, line it up with your vanishing point. And so these two went to vanishing point 2, vanishing point 2. Now remember, whatever happens in the front, we have this straight vertical line right here. We will do a straight vertical line in the back. Remember, these 2 lines should be matching, the same, equal, parallel. So I'll bring this over here. That back side on the left side will also be a straight vertical. So these all 3 should match. After that, we will take this back corner and we get to play seesaw again with our vanishing point way over here to the right. Okay. So after that, we'll draw that over there, vanishing point 1. And then the left side right here, since this one went to vanishing point number 2 right here, that means the back left has to go to vanishing point number 2. So this goes to 2. So now we have our box. So we're going to make this into a jack-in-the-box, so we have to make a lid. So I am going to make up a slant, and I'm just going to go like that. Now if you look, if this is my lid, this is way too short to cover this up. And so what you might have to do is measure. So mine is roughly 1 3/4 of an inch. So when I make this line, I want to make sure it's roughly that size. It might be a little bit smaller because it's further back, but these 2 right here should pretty match the same length. So now I made the slant up. So how do I figure out this top? Remember, the bottom does the same thing. So this one went to vanishing point number 2. So over here, we'll go to vanishing point number 2. And so how do I cut it off? Whatever I do to the front, do the same thing to the back, and we have our first jack-in-the-box. Now when you are designing this, you'll probably have stuff coming out of it. If this is an empty box, You can put a straight line going down, and then after that, it looks like you can crawl into this box because the box is empty. But I don't know if you need this line depending on what you pick. Okay, now that lid doesn't have to be there. The lid could be over here. I can make up my own slant over here. This is vanishing point 1, so this would go to vanishing point 1. Then I create the same slant here. Now the lid could be over here, so I would draw my slant, and then this would go to vanishing point number 2, and then I repeat that same slant. So the lid can happen on any of those sides. It could even happen at the bottom where you have a floating jack in the box, and this is your slant, and this would go to vanishing point number 2. So there's lots of possibilities wherever you want to have your lid. Now we are going to do a 1-point perspective box. Now it's going to look a little bit strange if we use this vanishing point because it's so far away that if I were to put this box in, these two boxes won't look like they're made on the same eye level, just because this is extreme for the 2-point. So I want you to put a third vanishing point up here. And so we are going to use this for our 1-point cube. Okay? And so you will start over here in the bottom corner, maybe a couple inches wide. And remember, with 1-point perspective, you start off with a perfect shape. Perfect shape, perfect shape. Then after that, you will take all 3 of your corners to the vanishing point. So this one's easier because we don't have to deal with that 18-inch ruler or the seesaw. So a couple inches, line up the corner with the vanishing point. Remember, we made up a new vanishing point. And then over here on the bottom, I will draw that. So after that, remember, whatever you do to the front, you do the same thing to the back. And the horizontal one, remember, it has to be parallel. Don't try to fix it, even though this is more squished. Don't try to fix it. So now we have a box. So I will put my lid right here, and I'm going to allow it to go off the edge. So I made up this slant. Then after that, this one went to vanishing point right here. So the top would have to go to the vanishing point. And then right here, I guess I have to repeat the same slant. And I have my box. If this box is empty, I would put a straight line right there. Again, your lid doesn't have to be there. You could have it here. You could have it here. Oops. You could have it here. Totally up to you. Or you could have it down below. So make your box. So now after that, you have a 2-point perspective box, a 1-point perspective box. Go back to the PowerPoint, and you are going to list your ideas on this page. And after you make the list of ideas, I think it's 15. You guys, I'm not sure about that. And then after that, you are going to sketch on these jack-in-the-boxes for 15 minutes. So you gotta figure out, what do you want coming out of your jack-in-the-box? What kind of designs do you want on your box? Or where is your jack-in-the-box? Maybe it's in a landscape, okay? So it's totally up to you. So list your ideas, sketch for 15 minutes, and that's one of your virtual assignments. So I will see you in class next week. Go Packers!